All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And what you have here is Michael Eric Dyson along with Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club. Now, this individual here is a hustler. You know, these are these guys. These are so called civil rights hustlers. You know, him along with Al Sharptongue. You know, this guy's pretty much part of the Action Network, and his first of all, he's bought and paid for. Okay, he's a plant. All right, and his uh sole job is to pretty much uh keep Jake asleep. You know, and pretty much play on the guise of victimhood, so to speak. You see, and this is what pretty much keeps Jake on the plantation as far as the prison in their mind on what affiliation they should be aligning themselves with politically. You see, and the Lord didn't set us up here in His captivity to pretty much further this damn devil's agenda, and that's what these leaders of the people are pretty much set up for. All right, this man pretty much on your right hand side is pretty much doing the bidding of the devil. Okay, he's doing the bidding. Okay, he is sent, and he's pretty much, pretty much playing on Jake's emotions because Jake is an emotional people. Pretty much traumatized, and they play on that sole premise to pretty much sway Jake in a herd mentality, so to speak. That herd mentality is pretty much thinking one kind of way, and that's it. Not opening up your mind and to pretty much have an open mind to different things. You see, and this right here is pretty much furthering Jake away from their power. Little do they know, okay? Because these views, all right, that this man is pretty much representing as antichrist. You see, okay? Because he's pretty much doing the bidding of the woke agenda. He's pretty much doing the bidding of these draconian laws, okay, that have been pretty much rammed down the throats of the people, okay, for the past 5 to 6 years, you know, and really, more so, you see it more evident within this last administration that's been in office. You see that, you know, but Jake is pretty much a lost people, lost sheep, and they don't have any type of guidance. Okay, because why? It's because the shepherds pity them not. You see, and what Jake needs to be doing at this time, and they knowing that this is a fight between good and evil. This is a spiritual warfare. But Jake is pretty much aligning themselves with this place and trying to uphold it. You see, here it is. This place is pretty much crumbling, and Jake wants to pretty much hold it up with some crutches. You see, this place is pretty much relying. The agenda of the elites is pretty much relying on the votes of you Jakes, because you Jakes pretty much will make the difference in a voting block, so to speak. You see, but this right here is becoming more and more apparent that this whole spirit of victimhood and even the whole guise of what the Democratic Party really represents at the end of the day is really a real beta spirit, man. Okay, this is not a manly spirit now, because people, it's getting to a point to where our people are, especially the men, are looking weak. Okay, because why? It's because conservative values have pretty much been thrown out the window. You know, pretty much in this whole agenda that's pretty much adverse to the scriptures is pretty much being presented to Jake as being the new normal. Okay, and they don't think they see a problem with that, man. You know, real quick, let's get Second Esdras chapter 14 verse 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. And first and foremost, Jake has to set their whole house in order, man. And how do you do that? is by coming back to your power, man. You see? Okay? This is the main order of business to do, is to pretty much flee from the philosophies of this place, man. You see? Okay? Because Jake is pretty much going to get caught up in the sins of this place, man. You see? Right? Let go from the mortal thoughts. And Jake pretty much is pretty much holding on to these mortal thoughts, about this society. Jake is pretty much thinking about how they're doing economically and everything else, and thinking that this damn devil is going to save you out of it, man. You see, fully dependent on that, and not leaning upon the Lord, and knowing that what the Lord is bringing upon this place, man, is a great evil, man, and you got to flee from these things. You see, but Jake is caught up in mortal thoughts, right? Cast away the burdens of man. And Jake has to cast away the burdens of man because, this is, Jake is too emotional. And right now, man, we're in the ninth inning pretty much, man. We down the home stretch, and Jake is pretty much in that weak beta spirit, man. You see, right? Because they're looking more and more weak now, man. Meanwhile, you got the other nations that are pretty much, strengthening themselves, whether it's militarily or as far as gearing up for this world's war. They're fighting for their own sovereignty in this place, man. You see? Meanwhile, Jake is just lost into folly, and pretty much, man, they're not leaning upon their power, man. They're not turning to their stronghold, man, which is Yahweh B'Shem Abishai, who it can be called Jesus Christ. Okay? All right? And pretty much, they're not leaning upon the Lord. Okay? You see? Put off now the weak nature. And you're seeing now Jake is pretty much deteriorating. And you're seeing the weakness of Jake that is pretty much here in Babylon, man. Okay? Weak-minded, no spiritual backbone, drug-induced loss. You see? Corrupted ideology, man. You see? Okay? And Jake has been pretty much been engineered, okay, to think and feel that kind of way. You see? This is what has been happening with Jake, man. You see? It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. And what's the times that's coming? You see? Jake doesn't even know what the hell's going on. They're just trying to figure things out. And Jake is really much when they try to get into the geopolitical arena and try to be a free thinker, they think they know something because they watch CNN and drink coffee. You see? Okay? So pretty much the information that they are getting that's swinging their feelings, okay, which is a very weak nature, okay, of how they react to certain things, their thought process is being programmed unto them, man. Okay, why? It's because of the media, the mass media, man. The mass media is not really pretty much giving them any type of real perspective on things. You see, it's a guardrail to program them to think a certain type of way, and that's it. Okay, when you turn on these other stations, man, when you talk about these mainstream media, you see, you got to be able to set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto you, man. You see, all right, and it says flee from these times that are come, right? It says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. You see, and it says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, such the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. You see, and pretty much, man, this time that's coming, man. Okay, evils is coming upon this place, man, and Jake is pretty much that sheep that doesn't know what the hell is going on, that lost sheep. You see, okay, you putting your whole value on a failing political system, man. That's pretty much feeding the agenda of your adversary, man. They're pretty much doesn't want you around. Okay? And he's pretty much showing you that. And you're going to see that more on a more intense level, man. Because this man has but a short time. So he's going to have to come from behind the curtain and not no more use these talking heads, these minions, these meathead puppets, man. You know? You see? Okay? These guys that are pretty much bought and paid for, and everybody has a hand in this whole thing, man. You know? Again, the ship is pity them not. You know, all your civil leaders and these people that they have in place as far as the DA is concerned, and they don't have your best heart of interest, man. You see, all right, they're all working, doing the bidding of Satan, man. You see, okay, you see, but we got to be able to see through this age that we're coming into, man. Is a time to pretty much gird up your loins, man. You see? And pretty much turn to the stronghold, man. You know? All right? But I want to grab Isaiah chapter 59 chapter, man. And this is a real heavy chapter. You know, the whole chapter is good, man, but I want to get into it, man, because this is what you need to be considering, man. You see? All right, this is Isaiah chapter 59 verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. You see? What? It says, but your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that you will not hear. You see? And really, Jake doesn't really believe in the Most High and the Son. You know? Through society and through pretty much, you know, okay, they can, you know, see the views of church though, but they don't think that they're actually going to have a savior. You know, they're not even designed to think that way. They're designed to think as a plantation slave to pretty much have things keep on going and still fighting for things that you're not getting. You see, and just thinking that you know a handout will pretty much be the game changer. You know. You see, and pretty much be in that realm, and they're looking for the devil to pretty much sustain you. Okay, you see, when it's pretty much a dead end. Okay, it says, you know, for your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity, and pretty much this is from the top of the leaders of the people, you know, down to the sheeple, man. You know, your hands are defiled with blood, man. Because first of all, the leaders are pretty much leading them astray in the wrong way, okay, and pretty much being wallowed in that so-called engineered black culture, man. Because that's pretty much what it is. It's engineered black culture that Jake is dealing with. You know, here it is. You got pretty much a monument of failure, which is your church. That's on every other corner. But when you step outside that church, it's nothing but death around you. You see? Okay, where is the reproof of the people? You see, and pretty much the members that are inside those churches, or their family members, are the ones that are pretty much doing the blood, the shedding of blood, okay, of themselves. You see, but it says, "For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue have muttered perverseness." And that's pretty much what this individual's doing, man. You know? It's not but perverseness that's really coming out of his mouth at the end of the day. And this guy deems himself to be intelligent by using these big words, and a lot of these words are pretty much made up. Okay? You see, a lot of these words are pretty much made up, though. They're not even words. And he tries to make himself so, of a so-called intellect, so to speak. You know? Okay? You know, pretty much, man, this is the new face that they're putting out there because, you know, Jake pretty much got hip to Al Sharpton and his cohorts. You see? So now they need the new fresh face to put out there, man. And he's doing the same thing. You know, you're playing on the heart, the emotions of Jake. You know, and just keep on thinking that's the whole driving force, man, to pretty much deliver them, man. The Lord said, man, that nobody else is gonna deliver you out of your situation, man. Okay? All right? Yahweh has to send back his only begotten son, man, and the holy angels, man, to actually get us out of the situation, man. Okay? This is that stronghold, man, that Jake is pretty much tied himself into, man. And don't know how to get out of it. You know? Jake tries to be trying to be a so-called independent thinker in this day and age, because spiritually you know that something ain't right, but you don't even know the right way to go with it. You see, Jake is not putting two and two together with things that are going on in the earth. You see, first and foremost, they don't even understand the reason why when you go back to Putin, when he did open up those relics, okay, of the true image, the images of the true saints. They can't even grasp their hands around that, their head around that, to see that. But there's a greater thing in the earth that's coming on, man, and it's good against evil, man. You see, okay? The Lord has pretty much is revealing Himself unto the earth, man, and He's using men, okay, whether it be the men that are pretty much doing His bidding, okay, which is His servants, or even the opposition, so to speak, the adversary. He even has an adversary doing his bidding. You see? Okay? And it's pretty much, man, Jake is pretty much right now between a rock and a hard place, man. You see? Right? Finish it up. It says, for none calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. And that's pretty much what it sums up. Okay? Nobody's calling for no real justice. What's the real justice? The real justice is pretty much knowing that the Lord is going to pretty much avenge us, okay, of our adversaries. It's not going to be some type of political system. It's not going to be some type of situation where somebody that's going to come out of the blue and make your life better, okay, of a man. You see? Okay? Cursed is he that trusteth in man, and make flesh his arm. And that's pretty much what Jake is doing right now. You see? Right? It says, they hatch cockatrice eggs, and weave the spider's web. And he that eateth their eggs dieth, and that which is crushed beneath out of it a viper. It is pretty much, man, when you talk about the snare that the leaders of these people have set up, man, Jake is caught up in that. Okay? You see? It says, their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their own works. For their work are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. And Jake, you're not using the right garment to put on, man. The right garment is to put on is pretty much is this word. You see? Okay? Jake is going to end up being that person ended up at the wedding without that garment on, man. You see? All right? But they're being led astray, man. You see? By evil and wicked men. Right? It says, verse 7, their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are the thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. And that's pretty much how Jake has been programmed to react that type of way. You see? Okay? Jake is trying to pretty much improve, and it's all vanity, what Jake is trying to do. Jake is trying to improve their lifestyle, so to speak, though. But Jake is still having the same type of behavior that's been pretty much engineered unto them, man. Okay? They have pretty much been learned. They learned from the best, the devil. Okay? The devil has pretty much gave them their culture, man. The devil is pretty much setting up the path, okay? That snare, okay, those guardrails pretty much that Jake follows, okay, being lost sheep and leading them into death. You see? Okay? Right? Because it says here, right, verse 8, the way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. And you Jakes have been led in crooked paths. And you still are to this day. You see? Okay? Jake is definitely void of light. Okay? And pretty much when you see the men of the Lord out there on highways and hedges 10 toes down, Anybody at this point in time that's pretty much coming up against this is pretty much of that wicked and beta spirit, man. It's a weak spirit to try to want to argue with men that are pretty much of truth. You see, that's a weak spirit that's out there, man, with Jake. Okay, and Jake's right along with the alphabet soup, and you with them women, okay? Because pretty much that's all that's left in that in this this thought process in this time, man, which is all evil, man. Okay, and we know how the woman can get, and the woman is pretty much the beginning of sin, at the end of the day. Okay, all right, and through her we all die, man. This is the reason why we are fighting for our sovereignty at this point in time, man. All right, but the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You see, okay, we have to turn to our stronghold, man, which is a true living power, man. That created the universe, okay, and controls all things therein. Okay, you see, it says, therefore is judgment far from us, neither doeth justice overtake us, for we wait for light, but behold, obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness. And this is what the Jakes are, man. Jakes is pretty much, man, you follow behind these slicksters here, okay, like this individual here, okay. These guys are a bunch of hustlers, man, that are pretty much making a fortune off of playing into victimhood for Jake, okay, because Jake ain't really speaking about anything that's gonna pretty much change the situation, okay. Jake has been programmed to pretty much just wear their heart on their sleeve, man, and let that, you know, be, you know, if really feelings over facts at the end of the day, and just to be able to see things at the way it is, man, you know, okay. A zebra is not going to change its stripes, man, ever. You see, but Jake is pretty much somehow, some way, Jake is pretty much thinking that this damn devil's going to have a new lease on life, so to speak, man, and do things. Why would he do things for your benefit for? What would it be for your benefit that he's going to be able to do things for you? You see, okay, but Jake is pretty much right. It says right. Look, verse 10. We grope for the wall like the blind. We grope as if we have no eyes. We stumble at noonday as it were night. Right? And that's what Jake does, man. Jake is stumbling at noonday, man. You know, Jake is whatever makes Jake feel good at the end of the day. Okay? All right? Everything is about feeling good and comfort and you know, that's what Jake does, man. Okay? Jake has always been trying to kick the can down the road, man, as far as with judgment of the Lord, you know, and really still believe that, oh, this ain't gonna happen in our lifetime. What you don't see the Lord, see, the people don't even know the will of the Lord at the end of the day, man. Okay, but Jake has no excuse though, because it says that thy eyes shall see thy teachers, man. You know, okay, we're not moved into a corner anymore. Okay, more things are being able to make more sense, and thus Jake can be able to have enough tension span to put it together. You see, but what Jake is pretty much on that tightrope, man, in a society where they so constantly moving and going and distractions and the bread and circus and you still gotta get up and commute to work and fight traffic and you gotta deal with the burdens of man, so to speak, man. You see, all right, Jake is filled with just mortal thoughts, man. Okay, that's not gonna be able to pretty much free their mind with this word. Okay, they're not even to be able to turn to the light because they're so bogged down with all of these distractions. You see, okay, with vanity pretty much on their mind at the end of the day. Okay, but it says we stumble at noonday as it were the night, right? We are in desolate places as dead men, you know, and pretty much Jake is pretty much the dry bones, right? Right? It says we roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves. And that's what Jake does, though. Jake is always complaining. And everybody's really getting tired of it. You see? Okay? Everybody's getting tired of hearing Jake complaining. Okay? You see? And Jake has there's no structure about Jake at the end of the day. Okay? You're so damn wicked though, but you're complaining. You see? Okay? And you're still thinking in a herd mentality, which is not it's gonna be to your destruction. You see? Okay? It says we look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us. Why is salvation far off from you? Is because you're pretty much aligning yourself to be an adversary of the Lord. Okay? And don't even know it. All right? Jake is pretty much wise to do evil, and evil is the norm. So anybody doing anything that's not evil and turning aside, we're just going to get into it. It says, for our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. You see? All right? And your transgressions are multiplied, man. Okay? Because why? It's because you are pretty much are striving against the Lord. Okay? You trying to come up against this truth, man, is not doing yourself any well at the end of the day. You see? It says, in transgressing and lying against Yahweh and departing away from our power, speaking oppression and of revolt. And this is what this guy's really trying to talk about, man. This guy's still talking about oppression, man. You know, he's still talking like he's in the 60s, man. You see? Okay, we know this is witch hunt against Jake at the end of the day. Okay? And we know this man is moving like a serpent, you know? But pretty much for you to sit here and wallow in that and thinking that that's the only thing that's keeping you down, okay? When you have an ultimate alternative, okay, which is coming back to your heritage, okay, and recognizing your true power, okay, you're going to be in a situation in the path of destruction, man. Okay? You see? Right? It says, let me pull it up over here. Right? Let's go down to right? Read it again. And transgressing and lying against Yahweh and departing away from our power, we speak in oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart the words of falsehood. And that's what they're doing, man. The words of falsehood, man. Okay? Anything that you're talking about right now is not going to get you out of anything. Right? It says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice stand afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. You see? Okay? Jake is pretty much cast the word behind them, man. Okay? And when they see the men out there, okay, where equity could pretty much benefit them, okay, it cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And it's pretty much what we're doing. We're making ourselves a prey because why? We're departing from evil. Jake sees it as a strange thing. Okay? Jake sees that as something as foolishness. You see? Because Jake thinks that the wickedness that they're doing is the norm. They have been guardrailed to think that type of way. You see? Okay? And it says, and Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And when he saw that there was no man, and he wondered, and that there was no intercessor, therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he putteth on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance of clothing, and his zeal is clad with zeal as a cloak. And this is pretty much what we have to do. Okay, we have to take on this word, man, because this is what's gonna bring. This is the Lord is coming with healings in his wings, man. Okay, and this is pretty much is what is going to pretty much lead us unto salvation, man. Is this word? You see, it says, all right, almost finish it up. It says, according to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. You see, And you Jakes, that's pretty much the leaders of the people that are causing the sheep to err. Okay, you're gonna get yours, man. Okay, you know, though joining hand in hand, the wicked should not be acquitted, man. Okay, you see, because they're basically doing the bend of Satan, right? It says, "So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, in His glory from the rising of the sun, when an enemy shall come in like a flood, and the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him." You see, all right, and the enemy is about to come. Okay, but Jake is going to be sleeping to that up until that time. They're going to be asleep. You see, all right, sending the minions here to pretty much rock Jake to sleep, man, and keep him asleep. Okay, all right. It says, "And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. As for me, this is my covenant with them." You see? And we got a covenant with our power. Okay? We have to recognize that. You see? Okay? And only the elect is going to do that at the end of the day. You know? Right? "My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth forever." You see? Okay? But pretty much, ultimately that's going to be on the other side. But what's the price to pay for you 2/3, man? Okay? That are pretty much are wallowing, okay, in this madness, man. Okay? This herd mentality that's pretty much thinking that this is gonna deliver you from the evil times, man. Okay? Jake is not even aware of the evil times to come. Okay? But this is that big snare right here. Okay? This man is pretty much a plant. Okay? And to pretty much the new face that's pretty much out there now to keep Jake sleep, man. And he pretty much mentioned about his he had cataracts, so he had eye surgery, so he really pretty much doesn't wear the glasses anymore, and pretty much now he looks a little bit more of that new fresh face younger, where it can pretty much he can tries to relate to Jake, a little more, get the crispy lineup, you see, and this was all talked about on the show. And plus the fact that as the old guys that are out like Messi Jackson and Al Sharptongue, pretty much the new generation now, this guy's talking, he can relate to them more because he's more adaptive to the so-called hip-hop culture. Okay, he knows a little something about the culture, and he can speak on them and with that level, as you would see when you watch this interview. And if I can remember, I'll put the link in the description box. This is pretty much the Breakfast Club. And you see now where Jake now is pretty much still having that spirit of those feeble knees, man. Okay, all right. This is what keeps Jake having those feeble knees, man, by listening to individuals like this right here, and not understanding the good tidings that are to come. But let me grab that real quick, and I'm gonna close it out real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 61, right? Exaltation of the afflicted. The spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because Yahweh have anointed me with good to preach good tidings unto the meek, and He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, right? To proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound. That's pretty much what we're doing, okay? But the true meek of the Lord is pretty much the only ones that's going to hear this word, right? Right? And this is what we're doing, the good tidings, right? To verse 2, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, because Jake is looking real ashy right now, and oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise of the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the people of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified, man. You see? And pretty much, man, all right, this truth is out there, man, and whoever's going to receive it is going to receive it, man. But we see how the adversary works, and you see how the adversary, the leaders of our people, are pretty much set in place as plants to pretty much do their bidding, to keep Jacob asleep. You see? All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rokakodash, Shalom.